Alrighty then, hello, welcome to the Training Buddy Shop. We've got an SW1500, I guess. And let's see, who made this? It looks like it's an Athearn. It's an Athearn because of the way the couplers are put on there. We've done Athearns before. This is no different. I'm just going to go ahead and start doing it. You can look back on one of my other Athearn videos to see how this is done. I'll try to explain everything if there's anything unusual with this one. But we're going to first start off with getting it open, and typically these are pull apart. Let's see if that works. Just pull the shell apart here. I'm getting the gas tank. Yep. Just comes apart like that. Someone else has been in this motor before because this is not the way it's typically done. Usually there's a strap that goes over the top. So this complicates things for me because now there's no place to hold the decoder up out of the running gear. So all this running gear here is going to get messed up there. So we're going to go with that anyhow. I'm going to go ahead and isolate the motor, so the motor has to be isolated, so I'm going to remove that, and here we go. Try to keep it in the middle here as we go. All right, so I guess I can talk while I'm doing this. Maybe not. So remove the light. Yep. Take the light out. We don't need that light. We'll put something else in there. Put an LED in there so the light comes out. Get a bag for this so we can put the parts in as we go. So we need to find us a little parts bag here. See if I've got one. Some are real handy. Oh yeah, there's one or two. There we go. That's good. The parts bag. Put these in there, so we're not going to need that. We're not going to need the clip. Not going to need any of this wire, so I might as well get rid of that. All of that goes. This is not going to be connected here, so we take that off. And again, typically that's done on the side. If we're going to solder to this pin here, we're not going to solder there anyhow. We wouldn't solder this to the top. We would solder it down the side. So let's get rid of all those wires. We don't need any of that. Alrighty then. Let's see. What do we need to do next? We need to get the motor out. So the typical way to get the motor out is with the plastic things in the bottom and just pushing on them. So they are dead. They cracked. Right? So they cracked, come apart. So we're going to have to glue that in. We're going to have to put some special glue holding that in, and we'll do that. We'll probably put our TV in there. So these mounts, this is classic for the older Athearn locomotives. The motor mounts typically disintegrate whenever you need to take it apart to get that done. And put that in the parts bag. Yeah, he doesn't really want that garbage, I'm sure, but need to get rid of it. Alrighty, and again, we don't need the other part of that, so that goes in the parts bag too. Get rid of that. All right. We want to go ahead and solder wires to the trucks. So we're going to dismember the trucks here, and we do that by taking the caps off the wheels here, right, or off the axles, wheels, gears off the gear towers, right? And so that means that these gears then come out, like that. All right. And these are kind of free to come out. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, these have like a pinch mechanism right there. So pinches to get them out. It's a little strange here, but there they come. There's one. Here's the other one. There's no front or back to these. They're basically the same truck. Oop. Coupler came out. Yeah. Give me a little problem here, and we'll figure it out. Twist, there we go. Comes out. Now, interestingly enough here, okay, as we look at this, right, these two are on the same side, right? On the same side. And this touches here on the bottom, right? Touches on this pad. So if you were to mount them this way, right, then the frame would be hot to this rail. If you turn them around, if you did this, right, and you put them in, right, then the frame is going to be hot to, oh, well, the opposite. So this way it's hot to this side, right? Turn around and it's hot to this side, right or left. So you got to kind of decide which way you're going to go with this. It doesn't really matter. I don't see anything special there. Sometimes they have speed recorders on them, and speed recorders always go in the front. This doesn't look like there's any set pattern here, but what we do know is we're going to have to solder to the side of the truck that is not part of the stand here, this standy piece up here. Also, I usually clip this off, right? We don't need that. We're going to clip to the side of it, and just to try to eliminate as much of this as possible. This extra. So I'm using a pair of track nippers, right? Getting rid of that. We're going to go ahead and solder to the side frames. We need to pull the side frames off in order to do that. And again, we've seen this in other episodes where I've talked more about this. This is pretty much the same for lifelike also. All right, I might as well get them both prepped here so I can do them both at the same time when the soldering iron is hot. Okay. We're going to prep the area that we're going to solder to with a round file, and I'm going to look at which way the wire is going to go. So the wire is going to go this way, right? So we're going to prep the top of this. I'm going to do it from this side this way. We're going to prep the top of that rivet right there, because that's where we want to put that wire, and we want it to go in that direction. Okay. So putting a little nick in the plastic there is not a bad idea either. Okay. Clean that off a little bit. And then the same way on this one. Right, this one's going in this direction. And another way to look at the direction is where do the gears settle in? So the gears The gears are settling in up here. Okay, so the wire is going to go that way. The gears are settling in over here, so the wire is going to go that way. All right. If we're going to do it like this, then this is going to be the black wire. So we're going to use black wire on that. We had some black wire that I just took off that, but we're going to put some better. I don't know if it's better. I guess it is. Put some better black wire. So we're going to use black wire. Looks like about this. This is see what we're talking about here. Looks like maybe 24, maybe 24. That did a pretty good job at 24. So we're going to say that's a 24 gauge wire. For those who are curious and want to know. We're going to go ahead and tin this. So getting our soldering iron, putting our soldering iron about 550 degrees Fahrenheit. And getting our solder out. And we're going to tin this piece of wire here. Whenever you're soldering, you should have the fan on, right? So that you're not breathing in the vapors of the rosin. Not good for your nasal passages. I'm going to put a little drop of solder right here. It should adhere pretty quickly. We don't want to melt the frame. Remember, the frame is plastic here. We just want to get a dot started here. It's not starting very well. Okay, so not quite sure what the deal is there. Maybe it's not getting hot enough. Well, that's probably what it is. So I'm going to increase the heat up to 700. I'm going to give it a second to settle in there. Okay, there it's at 700 now. So we're going to go ahead and do that. There you go. Yeah. Now it's better. Again, it's really hard to get it to adhere to that steel. Easier to get it to adhere to the brass rivet that's there. Just get a good shot at it. Make sure that it's in pretty good, right? Give it a tug. You don't have to get really tough with it. And then let's give us some wire. Let's give us about that much. That's good. Set that aside. Let's do the next one. All right, again, we 24 gauge. So 24 gauge is about right there. I'm trying to do this in real time now so that you can get some appreciation for how long it takes to do some of these things, and when you listen to me talk, I deliberately slow down and point things out to you. I'm not doing that so much here. I'm just doing this as I would without somebody looking over my shoulder, and I'm not going into a great deal of explanation. I'm also not answering any questions. There's nobody standing here going, well, what are you doing there? That's not happening. Not that I don't mind that. I'm just saying that it's not happening, so this should go quicker. So again, I'm putting it at 700 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Because I want it to want there to be bonding fairly quickly on this. I have to keep looking up in my mirror here, or the viewfinder, to see that I'm recording correctly. All right, come on. There you go. I could feel it being lumpy, and then all of a sudden it just collapsed, which is good. Alrighty, now Again, we're going to cut that off about there. All right, and set those two aside for the moment. Let's concentrate on the motor. And again, we've got the soldering iron hot. I'm going to cut it back just a little bit, cut it back to about 600. And the motor's got these contacts on the bottom. We're going to cut those off. When you release the Kraken here, when you release this little pin, there's a spring and there's a brush underneath that, so you have to, I do them one at a time so I don't mess it up. I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. I'm not going to, you could smush them down if you want. I'm just going to cut them off. We don't need them. Matter of fact, you can do them back and forth and they'll pop off too, but we don't need them and they're just in the way. So we're going to take those off. And after you put all this trash into the bag, and the customer goes, "What did you give me all that stuff for?" Well, it's old. If I'm going to do something for you, I don't need it. You might want it for some reason. I don't want to begrudge you that. Okay, so now I need to put a wire on this. I don't know if it needs to be orange or gray. This is on the bottom, so I'm gonna guess, and I'm gonna say it's gray. So I've got gray and orange wires that are separate, and I could do that, or I could just go right for the jugular here and just take a 9-pin, looking for a 9-pin decoder wire. What have I got? No, that's not really what I'm looking for here. These are the frustrating things about having this mess here. Decoder. Well, I'm going to put a decoder in it, so I'm just going to go get a decoder. So hold on, it'll only take a second. And it took 25 seconds. But I'm back, and I'm going to use DH126D, one of the most common decoders. And here at the Train Buddy today, when this is being recorded, we're selling them $17. I like to take the staples out nicely. You never know when you want to put it back or put it back on the shelf if something doesn't go right. Or if I send it back to Digitrax, I like to send all this paperwork, hoping that they will send it all back. I just got some stuff back where they just threw the paperwork away, so there was no sense me doing that. Could have just sent them the blank decoders. Anyways, so here's the decoder paperwork, and this is what I'm looking for, the wiring harness. There's the wiring harness. All right, so now let's go ahead and take this wiring harness. Let's take a look at where we might put the decoder. Well, I'm going to have to build some kind of a platform or something here. I really am. And typically this is going to go, to one side. It's going to go up on the top here somewhere. I've got one that I've already done. I've done several of these. This is an old one that I did many years ago, and you can kind of see the mess that's here. But I used the metal connector to put the decoder out away from the running gear. And so I'm trying to mimic what I've just done, what I've just showed you there. Let's put that back on the layout where I got it. All right, so here's the look. Almost lost the spring, right? Almost lost the spring, and there's that brush is in there. Don't want to lose the brush, but the brush is in there. There it comes. That's what the brush looks like, right? So want to be careful with that. But we're ready to do this. And again, I don't want to put, does it talk about that in here? Read the instructions, hold on. Well, I'm going to look at the instructions. I don't know if I'm going to read it much. Left side, white forward light motor, plus minus. It does not say there. Typically, again, if you just don't know, just do whatever, either orange or gray. I'm thinking orange is on the top and gray is on the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it that way. And so this is the bottom of the motor. This is the bottom of the motor, and I'm going to put gray on there. So I'm going to try to figure out where I'm going to put this, like this. This would be the front. So this would be the front is here, and that's where I'm going to put the decoder. So I want to do something like this, and about that much, and then kind of think about how it goes down here and around. So I'm gonna cut this about right there. Now, I might be wrong, but I might be right. Might be that Billy Joel song. I may be wrong, but I may be right. And this is a 26, probably 26 gauge. Don't have to have the soldering iron that hot. I'm going to go ahead and tin it, tin the wire. All right, and I'm going to take the metal strip here. Again, I'm just using the motor to hold it up, right? And we're going to come from the bottom and go one way or the other. It doesn't really matter which way we're going to go. And we're just going to go ahead and add a dollop of solder right there in the little neck of this. And usually it goes in there pretty good. Sometimes I can even hold it with my hand. It doesn't get that hot. Yeah, see, that's how quick it solders there. And then we're going to go ahead and add this. And again, it's going to go at an angle here. So just at an angle. And I'm hoping I'm getting this in the video. All right, come on. Whenever the solder is not working, it's because there is no rosin. I'm gonna burn my finger. I know I am. This is not much fun here. I'm gonna do it this way. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, that's a good solder joint. That's a very good solder joint. Now, it's still hot, so I'm not really keen on putting this all back together again just this very second. But here's the spring, right? The brush is still in there. I'm going to just put just a drop. Now I got to wipe this off, but I'm just putting a drop of conductive lube on there, right? You don't want to leave that on there because you'll create sparks and all kinds of other stuff, right? And we're going to pull this around this way, and this goes down over the top, right? Kind of holds the engine together, right? So you have to pull the engine together. It goes like that. Now, when this is down like this, right? Now this comes up this way, up over like this, and then connects to the decoder. And we can put a little slop in there, we can move it around. We got plenty to work with there. Now I need to do the top. Well, the top is orange. If the bottom is gray, the top is orange. These are NMRA standard motor lead, and so I want to make sure I've got enough of that, and so this goes right there. So that's where I want to cut this. Again, number 24, 26 is what we used last time, and 26. Had some stuff in it. There it goes, 26. Pull the, what was that? Made some noise over there. I thought it was a bird or something. So we go ahead and do that. Now, I didn't take this one off. I will, because again, I don't want to get it. My screwdriver. I don't want the heat from the soldering iron to melt the motor plastic. That would not be good. Did you see that spring? It just went bring. There's the spring, right? Okay. And again, they've soldered to the top of that. We don't really care. We're going to solder to this part, and I'm going to hold it. Yeah, because it's not going to get that hot. It actually, because it's brass or copper, it has real good conductivity, and so it just goes like this, and ba-dum-bump, and it's done. And then we're going to take this now. It's coming up from that side, so we want it to stay on that side, do we? Or do we want to come from the other side? We want to come from the other side, just because we can, right? And because the harness has got gray on the one side and orange on the other. All right, now this is the hard part, because I'm going to try to hold this while I do this. Don't do it like this. I mean, get a holder, spend some time. I'm trying to do it quick, and it's like not working out. Get the holder. Okay, so you should have one of these little helping hand things, and put it in the helping hands, and then take your soldering iron and just do it. Like that. Oh, a little heat. I felt a little heat. Yeah. Along the wire, though, not along the... There we go. Just like that. Put my helping hands back. Thank you, helping hands. All right, now we're going to put this back in. We're going to put the spring in. We're going to put a dollop of conductive lube in there. Right. Again, while you got these things open and you're working on them, you might as well lubricate them, and you might as well clean them too while you're at it. Okay? Nothing's worse than to get it all together and then it doesn't work well because you didn't clean it. Now, where did that spring go? There it is. Again, I'm doing this in real time, except when I paused to go get the decoder. Of course, I shouldn't have started until I had the decoder in my hand, but there you go. All right, so there we are, right? Like that. Now, the hard part? No, there's no hard part here. This is all pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and put this into the mount here. It's not going to stay because I don't have any motor mounts. And the motor mounts, remember, disintegrated here. So I'm going to have to put some goop in there. And I also need to insulate it from this. This can't touch any of this inside here. So up underneath there, it may touch that. So I don't want that to happen. I'm going to put a piece of Kapton tape. You've heard me talk about Kapton tape before. Kapton tape. This is by the original was, I believe, DuPont. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And DuPont invented this tape for the for the electronics industry. It's used in wave solder, where components are just floated on top of very hot solder. So it has characteristics that are ones that we like. One of the characteristics is obviously it's insulating. You don't want something that's non-insulating for this. Another characteristic is that it is good up to 600 degrees or 7 or 8, maybe even 900 degrees Fahrenheit. That's also good because not only does it have good insulating properties from an electrical standpoint, it also has good insulating properties from a thermal standpoint. So it's got great thermal capabilities. We want to, I'm going to cut this a little bit. Let me find my X-Acto knife. I'm going to cut it a little bit. I don't want to cut it too much because I want it to insulate. So I'm going to cut it right at these joints here and here, where they're at their lowest, right? And we're going to go ahead and let this lay inside of there. We probably are also going to trim it, trim the edges, so we can use the scissors or use I seem to use track cutters when I don't have to, but here and here, and use our tweezers as our extra hands here to get rid of some of this extra tape we've got. Here and here, let's cut it again down inside here. And that should be good enough. I mean, we're not, when we put the other plastic in there holding this in, this will actually not be necessary, but it's a good start, good base for the plastic we're going to put in. Now we're going to find plastic. Our go-to plastic is this, which is called RTV, clear RTV silicone, and that's what we would use here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any out. This is just about gone here. I'm going to make an executive decision here, and I'm going to cut this baby open so I can get some out of it. And so this is I'm getting it out of the center. That's ordinarily not what you would do, but this is all you really need to do, is to add some of this goop in the bottom here, okay? And that's enough. That's plenty, right, to hold this motor. Now you got to make sure you don't put too much in there, because if you put too much in there, then you're going to end up with, it's going to be in the motor. Then you don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and set the motor in with the goop. Just lightly set it in there like that, okay? Make sure that we don't have any goop coming up in the places it shouldn't. That looks pretty good, actually. I'm quite pleased with it myself. All right, and there we go. Now, the next part of this is to go ahead and get the motor back, or get the trucks back in. We're going to go ahead and put them back. And as we looked at other ones, we want to make sure that the wire is not being pinched as we're putting it back, and this one does not appear that way. Okay. Same way on the other side. Where's our other side frame? Okay. There's our side frame, and the side frame goes like this. Okay, good. And not pinched. Not pinching. Okay, good. Wire's good shape. All right, while we're at it, we might as well go ahead and, again, using the conductor lube. Right, so I'm getting low on conductor lube here. Just put a little drop right in each one of these spots where we need to conduct right on this one and on this one. I am just about out of conductor lube here. Just a dot on each one. That's about all. I'm going to have to go get another bottle of conductor lube. But there we go. And then we want to make sure that these in part of the tower, we want to make sure that the gears here, the ends of these gears are working and are and have got appropriate lubrication. So I'm just going to add a little bit of lube to each one of these. This is just motor lube and to the ends of these idler gears, right? So we got one there, and that's good enough there. We're ready to go ahead and put these all together. So I'm going to, again, this has to come up through here. Now this is going to be tricky here. Let's see what we've got. It looks like we've got a place for wires to come up through. I need to double check that, but that looks like a place for the wire to come up through. Let's see if in fact that's the case. Well, it looks like it. Looks like we can do that here. All right, so let's go ahead and utilize those holes, right, for the wire to come up through. That's great. What did I do? Oh, got that one stuck in there. That's good. Good. All right. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Come up through the... Oh, there's no holes in the other side. Okay. Thwart it again. All right, let's see what we can do. Come up on the inside. Oh, I see. Well, there's two little nicks there. That'll work. Two little nicks. So let's come on up. Come up on the inside. And then we're going to let all of that sit, and I'm going to let that glue set tonight. I'm going to go ahead and put the gears in too before I do that. So each one of the gear sets from here, I'm going to put that in like that and set those in, and then put the gear tops on it. And then I'm going to let that set tonight. That'll mean that this motor is going to be nice and tight in there. We can put a decoder on it tomorrow and we'll test for direction and for function. And that's a pretty good start. And so we'll get after it again tomorrow.